What is going on? You know who this is. It's AlTone, and today, this is just something for the brothers. So, my brothers, I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care where you're from, all of that kind of stuff. But I do know that there are many things that are common issues that we all face, we all deal with, we all understand, right? And one of the things is, where does your value truly come from? I think it's important for us as men to understand where our value comes from, because when we understand where our value comes from, that actually helps us to be able to better or show up better in the world, not just for ourselves, but for those who are around us that we care about, and provide the correct type of value to others. So the real question is, where does your value come from? Well, I'm going to attack it from the other direction today, quickly. And that is where your value does not come from. So the unfortunate thing is, all men kind of had this little checklist, and that checklist is developed over time. Part of that checklist is developed by the way your family raised you. I believe most of our development happens before we turn age 4 or 5. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you specifically what that is, but I know I've read that before. Between the ages of 0 to 4 or 5 years old, you begin, I think it's actually 2, you begin to start to develop your personality based on your lifestyle and the things that are happening around you. That's when we kind of start developing. But as you get older, as you go in through school and you start getting friends and that kind of thing, there are other things that start to add to the checklist in which you use in order to decide how much you are actually worth. How much it influences your self-worth. Others around you in things that are said or done all influence your self-worth. Now, one day I'll tell as much or the fullness of my story, and the more interested I get toward that, the more I'll actually do it, the more emphasis I'll put on actually creating that video. But until then, this is the thing. For me, I grew up pretty much on my own, and I spent a lot of time on my own. I'm just going to leave it at that, because that could be a long story in itself. But I spent a lot of time on my own, so the outside influence wasn't there as great. However, some of the exact same things that many of the males around me saw as check marks on that list to create or make them feel valuable actually were on my list as well. What kind of car you drive, how much money you have, how many women, and I'm have to hit this one. I'm sorry, fellas, I'm sorry, but I gotta hit it. How many women you have on your arm or you have been with, as well as how many, what your girlfriend or wife looks like, her appearance. I think I mentioned what kind of car you drive. Those are the things that people see of us pretty much upon first meeting us. That's how we dress, what brands are we wearing, that kind of thing. Those are things that people see from us upon knowing us within a very short period of time. And so we look at those things, what we present to people, as a form of, this is what I'm worth. This is what shows that to people that I am valuable. Being loud and attracting attention to ourselves sometimes allows us to feel as if we have value. But unfortunately, none of them actually add value to who you are. You're valuable without any of it. You have value without any of that. Every single one of us have gifts that we are blessed with. Every single one of us have things that we are good at, in which we can actually add value to other people. It's not how outgoing your personality is. It's not how many girlfriends you have. It's not how many women that you've been with. It's not what kind of car you drive. Oh, I've got the latest, greatest, whatever car happens to be popular at the time. I mean, it's not any of that. Many of us purchase things, buy things that we can't afford based on us trying to present ourselves with a level of value. And believe it or not, that level of value is much less than what your actual value is. Based on what you own, I don't care what it is. I don't care how expensive the house is. I don't care how expensive the car is. I don't care I don't care how big your entourage is. None of those things actually show just how valuable you are. None of them do. So, and what we end up doing in a lot of cases is we end up destroying ourselves financially. We end up destroying ourselves in many different ways, trying to get these things that we feel are going to add value to us as an individual. Now, the good thing for me was, because of the fact that I've been separate for so long, from others. I don't have a large entourage. I've never been a popular individual. I've never had that large amount of people around me, surrounding me all the time. I didn't have that great group of people that I felt that I needed to impress in some way, shape, or form. So I began to not care as much about what everyone thinks. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's still a part of me that definitely cares. I care what you think of me as you're watching this video. I mean, believe it or not, I do. But if what I'm giving you doesn't provide you value, then, I have to accept that. But the ones that need this is the ones that receive the value from it. And that's who I'm doing it for. And hopefully I'll find some other way of providing value for you if this is not the means in which I am to do it. I don't know if I said that quite right or not. But anyway, the truth of it is that thankfully, by me being separate for so long in my life, I didn't worry how my outward appearance. Now, I care about my appearance. I really care about my appearance. But I didn't care so much about how my outward appearance actually appealed to others. So I was able to make some decisions that were sober-minded decisions on how I handled things financially, how I handled what I spent my money on. Do I really need this or not? There are certain things like, for instance, this bracelet. Absolutely love it. Guess what? Didn't need it, but it was something I wanted for myself. No problem. I happen to like jewelry. I don't wear rings and stuff, and at this point, I don't even think that's the cool thing to do anymore. But I don't wear these because of the fact that I'm trying to present myself in a form of value to others. I don't do that for that purpose. I do it because it's something that I like and I enjoy. And hopefully, if people can accept that, that's great. If they can't, I'm sorry, but hopefully they'll take the time to get to know me as an individual. And again, I'll have another way of being able to present value to that individual. And some people, honestly, just no matter what you do, they're just not going to see your value. They're just not going to. And you have to be willing to accept that. It took me years to actually learn to accept it. Like I said, even though I may have looked at things a little bit differently based on the way my environment as I grew up, didn't mean that I didn't care about what other people thought of me. I just had a little bit different view on that. And it's something that I pay close attention to. I pay attention to it even with my sons. I pay attention to it with others, friends of mine. I pay attention to it. What things did they see or what things do they do to add value to themselves? And thankfully, I have the few people that I have around me do have a very healthy view of that. And I want to make sure that you have that same view. It doesn't matter what you have. It does not matter who the things that you have or what anybody else has on their checklist as far as trying to decide whether you have value to them or not. None of those things matter. What matters is that you understand that with nothing, you have value. And there's no thing, monetary or otherwise, material or otherwise, and no individual in this world that can make you more valuable than you are on your own. You're created with value. Understand it, know it, beyond a shadow of a doubt. With every molecule of your being, know that you, yourself, hold great value. And nothing in this world can make that value greater than what it already is. So, brothers, wanted to share that with you. I wanted to make sure that you understood, because I'm telling you, I truly believe the search for adding value to ourselves often destroys us and causes us to make decisions that we end up regretting or end up enduring quite a bit of pain with in the future. So, again, straight from AlTone for my brothers out there. I hope this helps you in some way. I truly hope it did. I hope you get it. If you have any questions or comments or anything, make sure that you drop them in the comments below. And like I said, everything that I'm doing, if you understand your value, it makes it easier for you to be able to recognize your gifts and develop those gifts so that you can show that abundance of value that you have for others, and to others. So everything I'm doing is for that purpose. So I hope that this helped you in some way. And as I always say, I will definitely talk to you again very soon. Peace.